Hey guys, it's Dave. I just exited my on holdings trade yesterday. I'm going to go over the ins and outs, no pun intended, but literally how I got in and how I managed to get out of it, manage a trade, and then got out of it of yesterday. So here we go. Let me orientate you. This is my trade ideas chart setup here. You can see total volume is 2.61 million on today. Current debt we have up here, which is absolutely great. The float size is awesome. Earnings per share. So it gives you a lot of nice information. But the information that I like the most for my style of trading is a short float, which is around 12.13%. I don't know what it was on the day that I entered it. I have a video of my entry when I entered it back on 9/9 or 9/10, one of those days. So you can go look it up, and then also days to cover. So how many days, if everybody were to short or cover their shorts at one time, like how many days would it take for them to do that? How many days of buying would that basically produce? So I look at those. So orientating here, I have the SMAs, okay, or I have moving averages on here. They're not all SMAs. This pink line down here is a 200 SMA. Yellow is 50 SMA. The purplish blue is a 20 EMA. The white line is a 10 EMA. And then the red line is 5 SMA. Basically, how I managed this is I entered here on this day, just keeping it real simple. I managed here. I like the overall look. Okay. So this is what cued me in onto it. This was, look at the volume here on 5/14. It was an earnings day. It was a gap up. I anchored a VWAP to it and kind of watched how it respected. It would move up, chop below it, okay, and it finally held above that VWAP. And you can see it kind of created like this consolidation zone in here, this kind of range. It would probably be better right there, actually. So you can see this level, the 36.15, call it, was a level to break. It did. It had a nice run. It came back to retest it a couple of times, right? And then it started to run up. So this is the overall look that I liked. And then what I liked after that is I missed this entire thing, but what I noticed is it broke out of this range and then it came back to retest. So this is a breakout and retest, or a range break with a retest. I'm going to go over to Trading View, show you how I did it on the specifics of things. I have all the indicators hidden, but all my drawings are on here. So let me zoom out again. Here's that earnings gap up, unable to fill. Red line is the anchored VWAP from that earnings gap up. And you can see I have the levels here that are respected. All right, so this zone here and then this zone here. These grayish areas. Now, what really cued me into it was when it broke these highs over here, 44.15 or so. It broke out. Pretty sure it was on volume. I don't have volume on right now. And then it came back to retest that area. Okay. You can see this huge, you know what? Let me put the volume on here. Sorry for the slop. But this large candle here, big whip out, right? But then it got bought up the entire time, right? So it was a huge move down and then got bought up and almost closed. It was only down 0.8%, where it was probably down quite a bit during the day. It was on volume. So I was treating this as a low, okay, as a potential low. And I figured, that's a sign of supply coming in. And so I wanted it to show some sort of price stability if it wanted to go back down and test those lows. And just what it ended up doing, I'm going to hide that again. As you can see, is just it kind of consolidated and chopped sideways after that large move. So this provided price stability for longs to become confident to get in here. This is what I'm thinking. This is how I see things. And so I'm going to go to the 30-minute here. So looking at the 30, okay, we can see this downtrend line broke. It consolidated. There's that large whip out, okay? It was down. It closed 4.73% on that 30-minute. And that was at 43.90. It went all the way down to 42. Let me see if that happened in like 5 minutes here. Curious. Sorry here. See, that whole move happened like under 5 minutes. It's insane. What about the 2-minute bar? Where'd it go? So not even, there's a 2-minute bar. So it was like in the first minute, they just opened up, sold all the way off to $42, basically even, right? 42 flat, like, come on. And then, I treated that as the low there. Okay. I'm going to turn this back on the 30 so we can zoom out. So I treated that as the low because this happened in literally 1 minute, probably a few seconds. I'm not going to look at that chart. So I treated that as a swing low there. It came back up, tested this downtrend line. Then it pushed down. This is what I was looking for. Retested that area to see if that low would hold. And as you can see, it did, right? It came back. It started to range within this area here, this 45.05 to 43.35. And it just kind of consolidated in here, right? I entered here Tuesday, the 10th at the end of the day. What I liked about it here is that this white line is anchored VWAP from that. And so it was kind of chopping around it and it started to move on up. This may have been on volume. So I entered at the end of the day. What I was hoping for is it would gap up, right? It was kind of consolidating here. It would gap up. Was respecting this uptrend line that I drew. So 1.2.3 points. It was respecting that. And so I bought in up here, hoping for a gap up. I don't remember what the market was doing. Either way, so I entered at 45.30, and then my stop loss, where this trade would be wrong, would be the low of this day, or breaking the low of that day of 43.30. So I entered at 45.30 and my stop loss was at 43.30. The next day, it just sold right off. And the low of it was 43.39. I'm pretty sure it was actually 43.38 and the daily. Either way, so I was saved by 8 cents. Just luck there, right? But ultimately what it did is it formed a double bottom here and then it just continued to rip higher, right? And so this light blue line here is VWAP from this day. I was watching this day for whatever reason. What you could have done as well, this might have been the VWAP from the high. Yeah, that's what that is. It's the high of the day there. Sorry. Where are we at? Yeah, it was the VWAP from the high of the day. And that, is the breakout VWAP as well. And so it got over that and it just continued to grind higher. So what I did, rules are, I'm going to get out of this, go back to my trading. So that's how I entered. I entered over here and then I let it grind up, right? So rules were, as long as it stays above the 10 EMA, the 20 EMA, the chart, the overall trend is upwards, I am in the stock. I held to this 20 EMA pullback and it retested up here. So ultimately, in hindsight, this tested this 452 level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and couldn't get over it. What I could do in the future to manage this a little bit better is once this tries to break out and it continues to get slapped down and fails is a sign of weakness. This looks like a rounding top here distribution. So next time I see this consolidation and failure to continue upwards, especially this 10 EMA tag, nice push off of it, but then it just fails right after, that's going to be my signal to get out, because otherwise now it's just bleeding slowly. I thought maybe because it was kind of creating a consolidation here, right here at this 48.10 to 52. So it could just be ranging here, and this could be forming a bottom around this 48.10-ish level, and it could just range in here. But I don't want to be stuck in a range. I want to be in stocks that are trending upwards. Otherwise, my money's just sitting. And so it enclosed below the 20 EMA, and I exited. Simple as that. And luckily, I follow my rules because today it just continues to leak lower on increased volume relative to yesterday, and it's a big old red bar. Now, we do have the 50 SMA coming up. It could act as potential because a lot of larger buyers like to use the 50 SMA. But for now, my shorter term strategies, I respect the 10 EMA, the 20 EMA, and I stay in them until they want to show me that buying is basically run out. We have a little bit of introduced supply, and it has to clean up a little bit until it can find new buyers. Now, hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys like this stuff, like, share, review, all that good stuff. I appreciate your time. Stay safe. Always manage your trades. Trade management, risk management is number one. You have a good night. Bye.